Well, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for attending our online claim submission tutorial today. And I so appreciate your participation and seeing all of you. This session will be, is currently being recorded and will be uploaded to the WUSATA website for your reference in future. It'll take a couple days to do that and get it edited and get it uploaded. I will send out an email, a follow-up to you, and it will have the link to that recording. During today's presentation, there may be some slight delays when I go from the presentation to the live site and that type of thing and share that with you. So just be patient with any delays and let me know right away if you can't see anything or hear anything properly. I think it might be a good idea to hold our questions until the end of the presentation today. It might just be a little bit easier to answer all at once. I'll be doing like one domestic claim and one international travel claim, and we can discuss your questions afterwards. And with that, let's get it together and proceed. Our agenda today includes tips for success, and then the live presentation, and what to do after claim submission, our wrap up, and our question period. Let's chat a little bit about this. Prior to your activity, always remember to sign on to your WUSATA account and verify that your application is at the amendment status and that the claim tile is present on your dashboard. If you have not signed off on your contract, if you haven't paid an invoice, the claims tile will not be present. So anytime that situation happens, shoot me an email. I'll tell you what the status is and what you need to do, and we'll get it resolved for you. Number two, in addition, when you sign on to your dashboard, verify that the country market for the claim that you want to submit is indeed listed and that the products exhibited at the activity are listed as approved as well. I suggest to do this step at least a month, 3 weeks out from your show, from your activity. One of the reasons why is you can start compiling your documentation at that time as well. And it might help you in case, say for instance, you didn't add a country market, you can boom, go out there, add that country market, get your budget in place so that everything is covered. If your country market and products are not approved prior to your activity, it won't be eligible. So that's a very important piece. Any updates or changes to your country markets or products must be submitted online and approved prior to your event, like we just discussed. And this will avoid ineligible activities or the proration on a claim. When ready to submit your claim, save some time and upload your documents to your computer or laptop for easy use in the claims process. I normally save everything, like if I scan it, I save it as a PDF, but that's really kind of up to you how you want to handle your photos, that type of thing. Our online program accepts several document types: PDF, Excel, Zip, Word, tons of different document types. So feel confident in that. One thing to remember is when you're assembling all of your invoices and expenses for a claim, for a show, to make a total of it. You'll need that total amount as the first number on your first claim detail screen. So it's kind of important. Okay, so now I'm going to allow a couple more people in, and we're going to go out to the live presentation. And this will take a few moments. So just hold, please. Now, can everyone see the profile out here for Chloe's Cookies?
Yes, looks good.
Looks good. Okay, so let's talk about this. I think I'm going to go back to the My WUSATA so you can see the actual page for Chloe's Cookies. We can kind of talk about the different tiles that are out here on your WUSATA account. You have like an event search, My Events, and this is for your Global Connect events or activities that you have. There's a tile for surveys, and that's a big deal right now because we're collecting these surveys for the FundMatch program right now for 2023. Then there's the FundMatch program. We'll circle back to that. Your invoices, if you have any trade leads out there, what your company profiles are, your company settings, regions and products, your messages, correspondence. You can click on that to see any correspondence, like for example, for your travel notifications, that type of thing. Your export education and your research center. And I always suggest to go out there and search around and look around in these tiles. There's a lot of information out there regarding our programs. So when you click on the FundMatch program, Chloe has set up her application and she's paid her invoice and everything. So that results in all of the FundMatch claim tiles being available. If Chloe hadn't have signed her application or paid an invoice, this claims tile won't be here. And that's what I was discussing before. So keep in mind that you sign onto your WUSATA account, you're going to submit your claim. If you don't have that claims tile, reach out to me right away and we'll get it resolved for you. But for now, we're going to go out and we are going to process a claim and start a claim. I think the first one we'll do will be the domestic one. So first thing you do is click the orange Start Claim button. And the system automatically populates your company name. Let's make this an Expo West claim. And it's in the United States. And see how the system automatically populates paid by FundMatch company. Now, the reason for that is for the domestic market, the only items that or activities that are eligible are approved domestic trade shows. And so it's pretty limited domestically. The next item to click will be some products. And these are some of the products that I'm going to put out there that we used to promote at our activity. Now, total expenditures. So she has an available budget of $3,000. I'm going to put total expenditures out there of $3,000. And then you'll see that the system automatically populates this next button. It highlights it that you can proceed in your claim submission. We're going to add our first expense. I'm just going to go on ahead and use today's date. You should always use the last day of the trade show or activity. The expense type, let's pay the booth. Let's pay the booth fee. And we're going to set that at $2,000. I am a person that always fills out the boxes. So it requires the description. I would put Expo West booth. And I would also fill out the optional note file as well, but you don't have to do that. It is optional. Now then we can see that it wants some documentation from us. All of these orange buttons represent that. So I have uploaded my documents. I'll let you look at that for a second, but I'm going to take it out of my way so I can see. What I've done is I've taken all the documents, I saved them as PDFs, so they're easy to upload to my claim. And when I click attach file, I want the invoice to the booth. That's the first thing it asks for. And then the proof of payment. Now the proof of payment is the bank or credit card statement in a PDF format, the first page of the statement and the page of the transaction or the payment. Now with booth expenses, you may have more than one payment. So feel free to put all your payments into one file and also all your invoices. Sometimes you'll have an invoice for a booth and then maybe you add a product showcase on it or something like that. So just make sure to keep all the invoices together. The exhibitor guide, that's becoming more and more just online. You can just submit in your screenshot to it. And photos. So we're going to do the photos to the booth, of course. You have to have, 2 or 3 good photos and shots of the booth. Now, product listing. We already clicked the products, right, on the first screen. But it always asks for a product listing of, what you actually showed at the show. So make sure to make a short note of that and upload it as well. Now you can see that this little add expense button has become green. It was grayed out before. And this is a very important button. This gets overlooked a little bit. I think we need to make it a little bigger. We might do that in future, but you must add the expense so that it saves and it takes you to the next expense. If you look down here, you can see that the total expenditures are $3,000. We've put in the $2,000 booth invoice, and now we're going to do the furniture rentals or equipment rentals. And that's at 1,000. I call it GES sometimes, it depends on the show. And then attach those invoices. Now with the GES and the Freeman invoices, make sure that they're the final invoices. And proof of payment. Now those a lot of times do have multiple proofs of payment as well. And so just stack those up and put them all into one document to submit. Now you see that these expenses aren't added in yet because I have not hit the add expense button. Once I do that, it equals your total expenses and your expense total equal. Populates the next green button and you can review your claim for accuracy. And then you click on the certification and that you acknowledge the expenditure and estimated reimbursement. And then you hit submit. Now, when we go back out to the dashboard, I kind of hit the buttons back. You'll notice that it shows your online submission, gives it a claim number, so you can reference that whenever you need to. And you can also view your document as well. I put in this kind of test one above so you could see, like say you had 2 shows that you were entering expenses for, and you hadn't gotten a proof of payment or something like that that you needed. Notice that the status is still not submitted. And so that means that we don't have it yet. So it must say online submission. Now, say you entered it and you didn't need it, you can always just delete it as well. And then in the view, it just shows a claim detail of what we did. You can print it out if you'd like. Okay. Maybe we should stop a little bit. Are there any questions that you have for the domestic so far? Okay. Here, let's unmute you. Hold on just a second. Let's unmute you. Oh, it's not unmuting. You guys, you're not going to be able to talk. Oh no. There you go. Did that work?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can now. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. I think actually my mic, I saw a new, anyway, I just received this, Diana. Is it Diana? Yes.
Diana, yes, thank you.
Yes. Well, I just received this from the Expo West that just happened here. And it is my GES. Can you see
Perfect.
that? GES,
yep.
Finalized invoice. If I upload this, will it, where I'm not seeing is, does this show my proof of payment?
No, you'll have to get that separately from your bank or credit card statement.
From the credit card statement. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Understood.
Okay, great. Any other questions right now? Will we ever need to pay anything when submitting claims? No, you do not. Only if you want to increase your funding or something like that on that claim, you can do it then, or you can wait until the claim is processed. And if we need funding or if you need additional funding for that claim, we'll notify you. Angela, what did you need?
Yes. Is there a time limit after a show or event to turn in our FundMatch request?
Yes, the claim must be submitted within 60 days of the last day of the show. Which I think is coming up for Expo West in another 30 days.
Okay, so what, do you happen to know that cutoff date? Just, I can look on.
You know, I do not. I don't know. Does anyone know what the last date of the Expo West show? I think it was the 18th or something like that of March. I do not know offhand. I wouldn't want to steer you wrong.
Yeah.
Cassandra asks, after the presentation, I have a Freeman invoice that covers costs of many categories, including furniture, graphics, labor. It was paid in one lump sum. Do I have to have Freeman separate the invoice? Nope, absolutely not. You send it in, completed as is. And how long do claims take to process? Michelle asks. Usually 30 to 45 days. It depends on, right now is our super busy season. So we have Expo West, we had Winter Fancy Food, Gulf Food, Vin Expo. I could name 10 other shows, but it just depends on how busy we are. And let's see, will we ever need to pay anything for a claim? Nope. Saturday, March 16th was the last day of Expo West. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I want to proceed to the international travel claim. So let's start there. Okay, so international claims, for instance, for trade shows, they include international travel. I liked kind of putting that in with this particular presentation so that it seems to be one of the really popular parts to input into the system. So let's get started. We're going to call this, I don't know, London Fair, because Chloe has a country market of UK and she selected London Fair to attend. And on the international claims, it will ask if your fees are paid by the FundMatch company or by the in-country partner. Some companies have in-country partners that assist them in international activities, and we pay them as well. So we're just going to select paid by the FundMatch company. Total expenditures, we're just going to put $1,000, and I know that's really cheap, but it's kind of hard to come up with these numbers ahead. So we want to just show it as a test. Does claim include travel reimbursement? Yes, it does. And then it asks, was the travel notification emailed to the ATO office prior to the trip? And we say yes. If we were to say no, it would simply say travel expenses are not eligible. When we go to the next screen, we're going to add London Fair there. And I'm going to put in here travel to London Fair. Now, we could make this super easy and answer everything yes, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to mix it up a little bit. Have you flown directly to or from the trade show? No. Have you flown on eligible dates of the activity? No. Have you flown on an economy non-upgraded ticket? No. We're going to do that too. Do you have a valid quote that was obtained for the same date your ticket was purchased? We are going to answer yes for that. If you answer no for that, then airfare will not be pulled and it will not be eligible. We're going to make the traveler expense Chloe. We're just going to use our dates here today for ease. And for our airfare, we're just going to put 500 for the airfare. We'll put 500 for lodging. Notice that when I did that, it popped up the attached files that are required. And then the per diem. And what we do on per diem rate is we just ask that the rate be populated, which is 127 in this case. And that is a daily amount that's received for eligible dates of travel. Now we start attaching files. We're going to have the actual itinerary for the airplane ticket. And the quote, because it needs to have a quote because it was this Chloe traveled outside of the eligible dates of travel. She traveled on business class, so it's a whole different way to calculate. Proof of payment. Boarding passes. These are normally submitted by screenshot, and we'll connect those. A photo of the traveler. And a lodging statement. And lodging proof of payment. Okay, now we can add a traveler if we want. I wasn't going to do that in this particular case, but you just pop on that button and add a traveler. Trip reports are required for international travel. Travel to London Fair. Summary of findings. I just put see attached because it asks for a list of the contacts. And then finally, the travel notification. Attach the travel notification. If you've done your travel notification online at your dashboard, you just need to click on correspondence and pull up your sent document, and it'll be right there to submit. And then your next button is populated. It's all ready to go. Now notice that the total expenditures and the expense total is different because we added that 127. So now I'm going to show you, just go back and you make your adjustments on your amount. So we're going to make the total expenditures 1127. And now just hit next. And then it will all match. Now, if additional funding is needed on this claim because they had set their budget at $1,000, if additional funding is needed, the claims coordinator will contact the company and let them know what that amount would be. Notice it now matches. We can now hit next. And we can now certify and add this claim. And hit submit. You can also hit indicate your booth expenses with a claim, but this particular activity just has travel associated with it. So any hot questions that we can think about for just the international submissions? We haven't done any yet. I joined a little later. What is the travel notification? Oh, good question. So the travel notification lives right here. And if you have an activity that you're going to, you want to add a travel notification to it and let that country, the agricultural trade office in that country market, know you're going to be in country. You and if you take two people, and you just click the orange add button, complete this information, hit save, and it will automatically send it for you. You will receive email documentation of it, and it will also live in your correspondence area as well. Remember, we went back to this area here and clicked on correspondence. I don't know if there's a travel notification out there, but we will look. No, doesn't look like it. I should put that in there for next time. But yeah, you would just click on that correspondence button and it would show it. And it is only for international travel and international trade shows. Whether you have travel expenses or not, you still need to notify the agricultural trade office in that country market that you are in country.
How long, excuse me, hi, how long will it take to show up in our correspondence? Because I've submitted an ATO for the INC in Canada this year, and I don't see it in my correspondence, but it says complete when I look at where the ATO is submitted.
Well, let's check that out for you. I don't want to do your particular file right now in this environment, but email that request to me, Callie, and I will look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, travel dates outside the eligible dates of travel. Let's get into that a little bit. This kind of goes off topic of our online claim submission, but I think it's an important point to make. Your eligible dates of travel are 2 days before the show and 1 day after. If it's a mission, it's 1 day before the show and 1 day after. If you travel outside of those dates, you need to pull a quote from the same U.S. carrier that you select to purchase your ticket. And if you ever have any questions about the quote pulling or about those specific travel questions, please reach out to me by email. I'll send you all the documentation. International travel is covered in the guide. I believe it's like page 48 where it starts, 45 to 48, and it will show you about that. Helene, at time of application under marketing plan for Food Type A, I entered an estimated amount of each expense and then just totaled the estimated amount, but it didn't take it, and I could not go on to the next page. Interesting. Is that for a claim, Helene, or an application? If it was for the claim, I would like to, maybe jump on a call with you and we can go over and look at your specific situation. And if it's an application, then we definitely need to take a look at that. So send me an email, Helene, and I will follow up with you and we'll jump on the line and we'll share screens like we are here and we'll see what we can do. Well, I've still got a little bit more of a presentation to go, so I'm going to make the transition here. Stop sharing. Now, can everyone see that? See that screen? Looking good? Good. Okay, so after the claim submission, I want to remind everyone that they need to get their claims in within 60 days of the last day of the show or activity. And then after the claim is submitted to the online submission status, our claims coordinators will review those within about 30 days. Keep an eye on your dashboard at your WUSATA account because inquiries from our office will show up there as incomplete. It'll itemize out exactly what they need. You'll also receive an email as well, request. The responses need to be resolved within 15 days of the requested documentation, and you're notified by email as well as that. So we kind of have a two-tier process. You can either access it on the dashboard, but you also get copied for all of your emails as well. And if you sign on and you see a claim that's at an incomplete status, that means we have returned it to you for more information. And we talked about that not submitted status that's out there. That means that the company needs to attend to that claim. This is a claim that you started to enter, but was not submitted to WUSATA for processing. And I kind of want to review the FundMatch process, especially if some of you are new to the process. The FundMatch, normally I reach out and do a consultation during the application. There's actually 2 steps to the FundMatch program. The first piece is the application, getting contracted and, signing your contract and paying your invoice. And then the second piece is after you've completed your activities, the claims process. So it begins with generally a consultation. I work with all of you pretty closely. I've probably had several conversations or emails with all of you. So I'm always here to follow up with that in that regard. You submit your application when you key it on your dashboard, and there's a $250 fee. It's all submitted online. We receive that application and review it for the allocation, and we send out to you your contract to sign. And at that point, once you've signed your contract and you pay your admin fee, you're eligible to conduct activities. During that time when you return, you compile your required documentation and get ready to submit your claim to WUSATA. WUSATA reviews the claims, any additional information needed. They always work closely with you, and then the funds are dispersed to the company. Like I said, it can be like a 4 to 6 week process total. And then finally, more tips for success. feel free to schedule meetings with me if you need, like, say for instance, you have your first claim of the year. I'm happy to go over that with you. We'll get on a call, we'll share screens and documents. We can show you how to upload everything and get that claim submitted. Many times we do it online. The same thing I do for applications for new companies as well. So feel free to always reach out to me. I am there by call or text, and you can also reach me at my email. The FundMatch guide. I always refer to the FundMatch guide. It's really detailed and will, especially like if you get into things like international trade shows and international travel, it gives you the information that you need. And then you can review example claims and tutorials up in the websites found under FundMatch and resources. And this kind of concludes our presentation, or my presentation. And thank you so much for attending. I so appreciate all of you. I am going to adjust my screen again, and then we can take some more questions if there are any. Do keep in mind that I can be reached at diana@wusata.org, and I can assist you with any of your claims submission questions or applications. Oh, I guess a note to say would be that applications for the 2025 year will open on August 1st. Now, I know that sounds like a long ways away, but it's going to be here before you know it. So I just want to bring everyone into information on that. So if you'll hold on just a moment, I will readjust my screens.
I have a question.
Hi, everyone. I'm back.
Hi, there you are.
Yeah. Okay. And so do we have some more questions? Let's look here. Kat, do the booth payments for Expo West have to be submitted via banking statements, or can it show the payments made on the Expo payment page? No, it does have to show the actual statements, and the actual statement amounts need to match, of course, what's on that invoice and that payment breakdown.
And so
does that help?
Yeah, that does help. Can we just submit and I guess black out any of the other information, and it just has the highlighted.
Yeah, the only thing I ask that you don't black out is the banking logo.
Okay.
And their address, and then your address and information.
Perfect.
And then keep at least four digits of your account number on there.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. What did you need, Angela?
Yes, I'm new. I have lost my Sherry, so I'll be doing this for the first time. But I know certain things are eligible and certain things are not eligible. But is there a checklist somewhere that I can follow to make sure that I got all my expenses that were eligible?
Yes. Will this be for a domestic show or an international trade show?
It's a domestic show, and it was Expo West.
Okay, great. It's in the FundMatch guide under domestic trade shows. And there's like 2 columns. It shows what's eligible, what's not eligible. And if you need any further assistance on that, always be sure just to reach out to me.
Thank you, Diana.
For domestic shows are super easy, right? They have the invoice for the booth payment. Yeah. Usually you have a GES or a Freeman. You may have shipping to and from the show.
Yeah.
If you had a brand ambassador at the show that you paid, there was a temporary employee, that you'll have to submit that.
Yeah.
If you have giveaways or POS materials, printing of POS materials is eligible as well. So it's kind of a short list, but it's covers everything that expenses. Lead retrieval is also on that list, and I don't know. Yeah, it'd be all in the guide though.
Okay, thank you. I also
Thank
wrote
you.
it all down, so thank you.
Good, good. And anything else that anyone can come up with? It looks like we've answered all of the text questions. Again, thank you so much, everyone. Oh, do you have something, Callie?
Yeah, if the application for 2025 opens August 1st, when does it close?
Oh, okay, so this is
Or
what
how
we
does
do.
that
We
work?
open applications, all right? And like for instance, applications are still open for 2024 activities,
Gotcha.
right? But like we'll close it off like probably around November after there's a couple of big shows that happen in November. And we kind of start really winding down for that month at the end of the year. But we start the application process early for 2025 because, winter fancy food is in January. So everyone needs to kind of be in line for that. So yeah, we will take, or if on the odd chance that we run out of funding, which I don't think that'll happen, but it could.
Yeah.
If we have a bunch of people sign up, so.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
Okay, any other questions that we can attend to? It looks like everyone's kind of taken care of here. Oh, someone's got their hand raised. And what was your question?
I wanted to check, is the bank statement enough to show that you've paid the invoice or whatever? It used to be that we used to have a canceled check after the bank statement.
Yeah. Okay, let's review that proof of payment really, really specifically. If you pay by check, you need to have the image of the check and the corresponding bank statement. And the first page of the bank statement and the page of the transaction are all the pages that we need. If it's a credit card payment, we need the credit card statement, the first page with the page of the transactions, and that's what we would need for that. If it's paid by a wire transfer, we would need the wire transfer form and the corresponding bank or credit card statement.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad we got these questions because even though they're not like specifically on claim submission, it's really important to know in advance. Anything else? Well, I wish you all a great day and feel free to email me at will on whatever you need or whatever your questions are, and I will take care of them for you. And I look so forward to working with you and spending time with you in this process. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Diana. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Diana.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Take
Diana.
care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.